Mr. Maye, how are we doing this week?
What's going on? How are you doing?
We're doing great. You know, you provide us a lot of real enjoyable content. You mentioned that the fans have been through a couple tough seasons around here. Well, as a radio host that's trying to make chicken salad out of you-know-what the last couple of years, it really is enjoyable to talk about a team that's on a winning streak and in first place. So let's get to yesterday's game that kept that rolling. What kind of challenges did you see from the Browns defense? Did they create some problems for you early in terms of kicking field goals and kind of being in a dogfight? And then what changed in the third quarter when it just blew up and all of a sudden it was a rout?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was kind of early on. I think, we knew they were a good defense, one of the top defenses in the league. They've been playing great, really all year, with them. I think they've had a few games where maybe one, I think the Lions got them, but really other than that, they've been one of the top defenses in the league. And I think we knew coming into it, we just have to, stay positive, stay ahead of the change. And I think we got down in the red zone some and had some negative plays that hurt us. And maybe I think a couple plays we usually had back. I wish I had back down there. But from there in the third quarter, I think Coach kind of called a great plan coming out of first half, and then we kind of got rolling, and the defense helped us out a lot. They had a big turnover down there to set us up in inside the 10. That's always nice to see. And from there, we just found some things in the third quarter and really put the game out of reach. And then defense kind of held its own and really showed up big time.
So, Drake, what were your first impressions of Myles Garrett? I mean, you got to see him up close and personal several times on Sunday, and I'm not sure if you heard his post-game remarks, but he was quite complimentary of you and seems to be a big fan.
Yeah, I got to meet him and hang around in the offseason, so I got to see him actually in his uniform. We did a shoot where we were in our uniforms. So I think one of the best players in the league. I mean, just goes to show what he's done in that organization for so many consecutive years. He's tough to handle, and he's one of the of our generation, and I think he just shows up every year, and he's something you need to account for. And I think our guys, really all day long try to give the best shot, and I think I held it a few times that let him get to me. So really other than that, I'm just proud of the guys for continuing to battle up front. I know we knew it was a tough challenge, so. Sometimes just great players make good plays.
In terms of that, he is a great player. He's a Hall of Fame player. He's probably the best defensive player of this generation. What do you say to the guys up front, after Will Campbell and company, after a performance like that? Because, sure, they gave up 5 sacks, but they also gave you enough opportunities to make plays and win the football game. So do you interact with those guys? Do you talk to them after the game about that? Drake?
You got me?
Yeah, we got you now.
Yep, gotcha.
Okay. I think for Will, I think it's, in the tackles, I think, you knew he's going to move around some, go left side, right side, sometimes be inside. So I think it's something you learn from. You learn from, playing a guy like that, and there's maybe only a few of them around the league, every year. But just learn from it. And it's a great thing for Will to see at such a young age. And, Morgan, most have seen him a couple of times. So I think those guys knew the challenge, and they weren't scared of it, and they wanted to block them, and we tried to help them out scheme-wise, and from there, and almost sometimes I think, like I said, those guys are going to make plays. I think so. Just keep on going, and I think they were great back in the huddle and being positive.
Did we lose you, Fitzy?
Drake?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
We
had a little dip there. Sorry, buddy. Okay. My question to you is this. Obviously, you got a great end zone connection with Kayshon Boutte. You and Hunter Henry have something going on as well when it comes to scoring points together. But how nice did it feel yesterday to finally get Steph Diggs into the end zone, his first touchdown as a member of the Patriots?
Yeah, we were joking. It took a while for him to get in the end zone. The play before he got in, he was kind of manifesting it. He wanted to get in the end zone real bad. So we were joking, that Casey had more touchdowns than him. I said that in the post-game press conference. So it was good to get him in the end zone. I think he was excited more than anybody to get in the end zone. And, I think it was a great call.
Patriots quarterback Drake Maye here on a Patriots Monday on WEEI Afternoons. Speaking of postgame, you said you were a little nervous for the individual introductions, that you don't have any swag. Your head coach agreed this morning on the Greg Hill Show that you have no swag. So what are you going to do about that? Are you going to maybe choreograph something, watch some old Ray Lewis film? You got anything planned?
No, I got nothing planned. Nothing to change. I'm just going to keep being, myself, and I got nothing, really to scheme for it. I think just try to get the crowd a little bit involved, and other than that, just go out and worry about winning the game.
Do you like not having swag? Are you looking to maybe make not having swag cool, be so swagless that swaglessness becomes cool?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm, swagless. I think just, I'm not really worried about all the bells and whistles, and, the guys make fun of me for my practice drip, saying I got no drip anyway, so who cares? I think it's funny.
Yeah. Just a little side question to Andy's question there. Are you at a point in your relationship with Mike Vrabel that when he busts your chops like that, like you can bust him back, or do you just sort of like laugh it off and roll with it?
No, yeah. No, I think you always, try to bust the chops a little bit back. I think he'd want that. I don't think he'd want, to him kind of be the bully. You got to give the bully something back a little bit sometimes too.
Now, as far as like how things are going for you, which seem so spectacular at this point, I'm just kind of curious. What were the goals? Like, you're kind of at the midpoint of the season, Drake. So what were your personal goals for yourself as QB of the team at the midway point? And have you met them and surpassed them? And do you have any new goals now that you guys are so successful at 6-2 going forward?
No, I think our goals haven't changed as a team. I think we want to try to win the division. We want to, make it to the playoffs. We want to, have home playoff games, and we want to continue to, be a tough team to play on the road and be tough to play at home. So that's been our goals the whole season. And, for myself, I'm really just aligned to our team goals.
As a leader of the team, as the quarterback, as you're dealing with all this success, not just you, but the team as a whole, and people are talking about you guys being contenders and number one seed could be in play. Do you do anything as a leader to kind of counteract that whole Nick Saban rat poison thing, or you just kind of go with the flow?
I think it's continue to show up every week in practice. That's the biggest thing I can control, getting the guys ready to go in practice. And I think Coach Vrabel handles the message of handling success and being ready to go each and every week. So my part is to try to, handle my approach to practice and handle the guys, how their mindset is.
So, Drake, we all got a chance to watch that really fun piece on the Fox pregame show Sunday with you and Gronk in the stadium. First question, had you met Gronk before, and were you stunned at how big a human being he is? And second, how cool was it to FaceTime with Brady and chat up the GOAT like that?
Yeah, I had met Gronk before. He's a great personality. He's an awesome player, and, even more fun off the field. And I think, yeah, it's always cool, be able to chance to talk to Tom. Any chance. I know they do a lot of NFC games, but the greatest of all time. Any words or what he says, people listen, and I listen. When he's talking to me. So it was pretty cool.
Patriots quarterback Drake Maye here on Patriots Monday on WEEI Afternoons. You mentioned Kayshon Boutte earlier. It's like another week, another deep ball touchdown. But I wanted to bring up another pass. There was a crosser before one of these scores where he reached back, made a nice adjustment. Do you continue to be impressed or wowed by his ability? Because he adjusted on the deep ball touchdown. He adjusts on that crosser. The ability he has to make plays on the ball when it's in the air and go get it?
No, I think the biggest thing, you aren't surprised when you see it every day in practice, and that's what these guys do. They put it on tape. They put it in practice. They show it in practice, and it's my chance to give them chances to, it's my job to give them chances to go make plays, and they keep on doing it. So there's still some stuff to learn from the game, but, I think just trying to keep giving them chances, and they keep on showing up.
Drake, yesterday it seems like that was the closest thing to a breakout game for Travion Henderson at running back. The ground game was great with yourself, Ramondre, Travion, 180 yards on the ground. How important is it? How much would it mean to not only get another running back going, but to be able to lean on the ground game almost equally alongside your passing game?
Yeah, it's huge in this league, being able to run the football. It's huge. I think it sets up so many different things and, establishes the line of scrimmage. So, they'll know those guys up front want to run the ball. They've been showing these past couple of weeks that we can run the ball, and I think that's the biggest thing for us is to keep on going and, give them chances to, make plays on the perimeter, inside. So I think we got, I like what we're doing up front.
You mentioned earlier your head coach, Mike Vrabel, sometimes busting your chops a little bit. Another example of that last night was talking about sending you to spring training to work on your sliding. I think he was referencing that one long run you had where there seemed like a little indecision there before you went down. Is that good-natured? I mean, do you need to be a better slider? You told us you played baseball. You have confidence in your sliding. What'd you think of that comment?
Yeah. No, I think it was definitely one of those moments where you're one-on-one with the safety. You know, you kind of want to, you know, my intuition is to do something to try to make a move and score. But, yeah, I think these safeties in this league, they're pretty good at tackling quarterbacks one-on-one. So just getting down, and I think I'm a pretty good slider. You know, play baseball, like I said. So I think it was just more of a comment on, you know, how my slide, the decisiveness, I think, is more of kind of the clarity of it.
Have your brothers reached out yet for the weekly ego check, or to just sort of make sure that things aren't getting ahead of themselves with you?
Yeah, one of my brothers at the game yesterday, so it's every week.
That's great.
Speaking of the staying humble, is there anything you do to stay humble when, you know, the world is just throwing bouquets your way? And I know you've talked about your brothers, but your wife, is she grounding? You know, you've talked about she knows football, she knows ball. What do you do to try to stay humble when you're playing as well as you're playing and the numbers you're putting up?
Yeah, I think just try to stick to your routine. You know, don't change on you know, what you're doing throughout, you know, weekly basis. And you know, I got a pretty tight circle in my life, so just keep on talking to those people. And yeah, like I said, just don't change my routine, and don't lose sight of putting in the work throughout the week to, you know, have that show up on Sundays.
Are there any things that you do right now, even though I know you're only 23, Drake, with an eye on trying to prolong your career as much as possible? Like, obviously taking care of your body when you're on the field, sliding, trying to avoid big hits, but any good habits you've developed early on? Because, you know, while obviously the game hasn't gone his way the last couple of weeks, the furthest ball thrown in the NFL this year is by Aaron Rodgers, who's in his 40s, and last night he was throwing 50-yarders off his back foot as well.
Yeah, I think I'm a huge proponent of sleep. I think, you know, ironically, since I got married, you know, I've kind of been turned into a grandma and grandpa with my wife getting in bed early. So, yeah, I think just, getting married and trying to get sleep. And I think that's a big thing that Coach Vrabel's big on, too, getting sleep. And, you know, he preaches, you know, being ready to go in the morning. And I think that's kind of, you know, what I've kind of used so far in my career.
All right, it's your favorite time, the new segment that we added a couple weeks ago, the May or May Not segment. So in light of Halloween, full-size candy bars, may or may not?
May. I think you got to be a fan of full-size candy bars. I think that's what you search for, you hunted for growing up.
So is that where the
easy one?
You're going to be giving those out? If you're for it, that means you're an adult now, you're married. You're going to be giving those out at the May house?
I will. I did tell my wife that the other day. I do agree.
Before I even get to my next may or may not, what's your favorite full-size candy bar?
Favorite full-size candy bar. You know, I was always a fan of the Reese's because growing up, I know Reese's full size is not as much of a candy bar, but I think just the big Reese's cups are my favorite.
All good by me, man. All right, may or may not, adult costumes and adult Halloween parties.
I think I may. I think I'm trying to show up if the guys are having a party. Show up and be there, maybe not for long, but show up and just be a part of the team.
Okay, we saw your Cam Newton Superman celebration earlier in the year, and it was quick. And that had me wondering, in this age of choreographed and premeditated TD celebrations, do you like those? So choreographed TD celebrations may or may not.
Myself personally, may not. I think I was a one-off with the one against the Panthers. I think the team choreographed, I think I'm in for those. I'm always down.
May or may not, karaoke night and or singing in the shower.
Ooh, probably may not. I think unless it's really close family and friends, I think it'd be a may not.
All right. Appreciate you playing along. Time now for the quarterback question of the week. The quarterback question of the week is brought to you by Northeast Men's Health, the experts in treating men's sexual health with 6 New England offices, or at northeastmenshealth.com. And the QB question of the week comes from Mike in Medford. And he asks, what are you going to be for Halloween? And is that a decision you get to make by yourself, or is it a couple's costume decision by your wife?
Yeah, I think it's my wife. I think whatever she decides for us. So I'm sure she's got some good ideas. So I won't look too much like a clown in it, but I think that's more her down her alley.
So you'll just kind of show up later in the week and she'll have something waiting for you to put on and say, let's go, we're going to the party kind of thing?
Exactly. That's what I imagine.
Smart man. Happy wife, happy life, right? Drake Maye, we appreciate you joining us. Good luck this coming week as the train keeps chugging along. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, guys. Go Pats.